Chapter 2: Kings and Kingdoms. The Medieval Period. Many dynasties ruled India during the early medieval period. In the north, the Rajputs, the Ghaznavids, the Ghurids, the Palas, and the Gurjara Pratiharas were powerful. In the Deccan, there were the Rashtrakutas and a few smaller kingdoms. The Pallavas, the Pandyas, and the Cholas were the dominant powers in the south. By the 7th century, there were big landlords or warrior chiefs in different regions of the subcontinent. Existing kings often acknowledged them as their subordinates or samantas. They were expected to bring gifts for their kings or overlords, be present at their courts, and provide them with military support. Administration in the kingdoms. Many of the kings adopted high-sounding titles such as Maharaja Adhiraj, Great Overlord of Kings, Tribhuvana Chakravartin, Lord of the Three Worlds, and so on. However, in spite of such claims, they often shared power with their samantas as well as with associations of peasants, traders, and brahmanas. In each of these states, resources were obtained from the producers, that is, peasants, cattle keepers, artisans who were often persuaded or compelled to surrender part of what they produced. Sometimes these were claimed as rent due to a lord who asserted that he owned the land. Revenue was also collected from traders. Prashastis and land grants. Prashastis contain details that may not be literally true, but they tell us how rulers wanted to depict themselves as valiant, victorious warriors. These were composed by learned brahmanas, who occasionally helped in the administration. Kings often rewarded brahmanas by grants of land. These were recorded on copper plates, which were given to those who received the land. North India. The Rajputs. The word Rajput comes from the Sanskrit word Rajputra, which means son of a king. Historians have different opinions regarding their origin. Some believe that they were descendants of the Central Asian tribes settled in India after the Hu invasion. The Rajputs, however, claim to be descendants of the Kshatriyas or warrior class of Vedic times. They claimed that they were Surya Vanshi, that is, belonging to the sun family, or Chandra Vanshi, that is, belonging to the moon family. Some Rajput clans also considered themselves to be part of the fire family Agnikula. They believed that they were born out of a sacrificial fire. The Tomars, Chauhans, Solankis, Permaris, Gurjara Pratiharas, Gahdavlas, and the Chandelas were some of the important Rajput clans that ruled during this period. Tomars of Delhi. The Tomars rulers founded the city of Dhillika, Delhi in the 8th century. Later, the Chauhans annexed their territories. Chauhans of Rajasthan. The Chauhans, also known as Chahmanas, ruled the region around Delhi and Ajmer. The most powerful Chauhan ruler was Prithviraj Chauhan. He defeated Muhammad Ghori in 1191. However, a year later, Ghori defeated and killed Prithviraj. Prithviraja III AD 1166 to 1192, Rajput warrior king of the Chauhan, Chamana clan of rulers who established the strongest kingdom in Rajasthan. Prithviraja's defeat in 1192 in the Second Battle of Tarauri, Tarain at the hands of the Muslim leader Mu'az al-Din Muhammad ibn Sam Muhammad Ghori, marked a watershed in medieval history of India. Gahdavlas of Kannauj. The Gahdavlas ruled the region around Kannauj. The Gahdwala king Jayachandra was defeated by Muhammad Ghori in 1194. Chandelas of Bundelkhand. The Chandelas were the rulers of the land between the Yamuna and Narmada rivers. Khajuraho was the capital of the Chandela rulers. It has many beautiful temples built by the Chandelas. Kurtivaman was the most powerful ruler of the dynasty. The Gurjara Pratiharas. The Gurjara Pratiharas ruled over parts of Rajasthan and Gujarat. The most powerful ruler was Bhoja 836-882. He conquered Kannauj and made it his capital. He was succeeded by his son, Mahendrapala. He expanded the empire further. His successors, however, were weak and could not defend the kingdom from invasions. In 1018, Mahmud of Ghazni defeated the Pratihara ruler. Soon, the dynasty came to an end. The Parmaras. This dynasty ruled the region around Malwa. The most powerful ruler of the Parmara dynasty was Raja Bhoja. They ruled till 1305 CE. They built the famous Nilkantheshwar temple at Udaipur in Rajasthan. Finally, this region was conquered by Alauddin Khilji. The Solankis. This dynasty ruled over the area of the present-day Gujarat. Their most important contributions were temple architecture, like the Dilwara temple at Mount Abu and Sun temple at Modhera, Gujarat. The most powerful ruler of this dynasty was Siddharaj Jayasingha. Kannauj. Kannauj was the most important city in North India. Its location was such that whoever held Kannauj could control the resources, minerals, agriculture, trade of the entire Ganga Valley. Since the 8th century, the Palas, Gurjara Pratiharas and Rashtrakutas were engaged in a tripartite struggle to control Kannauj. This struggle lasted for over 2 centuries and weakened all 3 dynasties. The Turkish invasions. Mahmud of Ghazni. From 1000 onwards, many invaders entered India across the mountain passes in the northwest. Mahmud, the ruler of Ghazni, led the first series of invasions. Mahmud of Ghazni was the ruler of Ghazni. Now in Afghanistan, he needed a large army to make Ghazni the most powerful kingdom in the region. He had heard about the wealth of the kingdoms of northern India, so he decided to raid India to collect money to raise a large army. The Ghurids. Like Ghazni, Ghor was a small kingdom in present-day Afghanistan. Mahmud Ghazni had defeated the ruler of Ghor and had made him his vassal. After Mahmud's death, however, the Ghaznavids became weak. Taking advantage of this, Muizuddin Muhammad made Ghor independent once again. He also annexed all Ghaznavid territories. Muizuddin Muhammad is popularly known in history as Muhammad Ghori. Muhammad Ghori. Muhammad Ghori was an ambitious ruler. He wanted to expand his empire. He decided to invade India not just for its wealth, but also to build an empire. In 1175, Muhammad Ghori attacked and conquered Multan. In 1178, he received a temporary setback as he was defeated by the ruler of Gujarat. Soon, he realized that Punjab could be a good base for further conquests, so, in 1190 he conquered Punjab. The Rajput ruler of the neighboring kingdom of Delhi and Ajmer, Prithviraj Chauhan, prepared to face him. In 1191 AD, the armies of Muhammad Ghori and Prithviraj Chauhan clashed at Tarain, about 80 miles from Delhi. Muhammad Ghori was defeated in the first battle of Tarain. The Palas of Bengal. The Palas ruled the region covered by the present-day states of Bihar, Jharkhand and West Bengal. Gopala was the first ruler. He and his son, Dharmpala, expanded and strengthened the kingdom. Dharmpala also encouraged trade with Southeast Asia. Devpala was another powerful ruler of the dynasty. Vikramshila was established by the Pala Emperor Dharmpala, 783 to 820 AD, in response to a supposed decline in the quality of scholarship at Nalanda. Atisa, the renowned Pandita and philosopher, is listed as a notable abbot. It was destroyed by the forces of Muhammad bin Bakhtiar Khalji around 1193. The Deccan. The area between the Narmada and Krishna rivers is known as the Deccan. The Rashtrakutas were very powerful here. The Rashtrakutas. The Rashtrakutas rose to power in the 8th century under Dantidurga. He and his successor, Krishna I, consolidated the Rashtrakuta rule in the region of present-day Maharashtra. Malt, near modern Sholapur in Maharashtra, was the capital city. The Rashtrakutas fought against the Palas and the Gurjara Pratiharas in the north. Towards the south, they clashed with the Palwas, the Pandyas and the Cholas. Continuous wars weakened the Rashtrakutas considerably. They were finally overthrown in the 10th century. Chalukyas of Kalyani. The Chalukyas of Kalyani were also known as the later Chalukyas or the Western Chalukyas. The greatest ruler was Vikramanka. He and his successors built many temples at Aihole, Badami and Pattadakal. Kakatiyas of Warangal. The Kakatiyas ruled in the 12th and 13th centuries. Their kingdom lay between the Godavari and Krishna rivers. Marco Polo tells us that the Kakatiya rulers were followers of Shaivism, though Jainism and Vaishnavism also flourished. The rulers patronized Sanskrit and Telugu. In the early 14th century, the kingdom was conquered by the sultans of Delhi. Hoslas of Dwarsamudra. The Hoslas ruled the region covered by present-day Karnataka. The most powerful king was Vishnuvardhan. Ultimately, the kingdom was absorbed into the Delhi Sultanate. South India. There were three powerful kingdoms in the south: the Palwas, the Pandyas and the Cholas. There was a constant struggle for supremacy amongst them. The Palwas. The Palwas became very powerful in the 7th and 8th centuries. Their capital was the city of Kachi. The Pallava rulers built many beautiful temples of stone. In the 9th century, the Cholas defeated the Palwas and ended their rule. The Pandyas. The Pandyas ruled the region around present-day Madurai, which was their capital. It was an important center of learning. Marco Polo visited the Pandyan kingdom. He has left a detailed account of his visit. The kingdom declined in the 14th century. The Cholas. The Cholas established a powerful empire in South India. That is why they are known as the Imperial Cholas. They ruled in South India for nearly 4 centuries. Tanjore, now called Tanjavur, was their capital. Art and sculpture. The Cholas were great temple builders. Most of their temples were built in the Dravidian style. The Brihadeswar temple at Tanjavur is the finest example of Chola temple architecture. The temple is now a World Heritage Site. The Cholas also excelled at making images of gods and goddesses. These images were either of stone or bronze, the latter being more popular. The bronze image of Lord Shiva as Nataraja, Lord of Dance, is one of the finest specimens of Chola art. Language and literature. The Chola period witnessed the growth of regional languages such as Tamil, Telugu and Kannada. Many literary works were translated into these languages. Administration of the Chola Empire. Settlements of peasants were known as Ur, became prosperous with the spread of irrigation agriculture. Groups of such villages formed larger units called Nadu. The village council and the Nadu performed several administrative functions including dispensing justice and collecting taxes.